gonna be a champion. Yeah, I got what it takes, risk it all, make my own fate. Yeah, I'm gonna be a champion. All the glory in the
Hello and welcome to the Night of Champions 2014 review show. It's the crew here. It's Nintendo Gen 64, Slodgeball, and CrystalFissure. And for the next hour or so, we're going to be covering Night of Champions 2014, the show that was, in my personal opinion, slightly better than I was expecting, but nothing out of your way fantastic. And as we go through, I think I'll explain my opinions on this, but let's just get your brief, opinions on it before we start.
Well, it's always hard to follow a big pay-per-view, and usually the card is never as strong, and they don't pay as much attention to the show straight after a big show. But I reckon this delivered. This delivered. There was some great matches on this card. Like, I had the US title, which I gave four stars.
I would agree.
And I gave Orton Jericho was the match of the night, in my opinion. That was a great match. They gave that a lot of time, which I liked, and it's one of those matches where the longer it went, the better it got. So
I agree. With that.
That was my match of the night. I gave it 4.25. So
yeah, I'm sure as we go through, we'll talk a bit about those matches as we go through. But I mean, did anyone watch the pre-show here? Did either of you guys watch it?
Yes, I did.
I did, but it was complete bullshit. Like,
tell me about the pre-show.
If we're gonna so they have an hour-long pre-show on the network, so I'm probably thinking, okay, maybe they're gonna have some big, they have big segments now, but no, they preview pretty much every match on the card, and then with 10 minutes to go, they start the peep show, and I'm just thinking, so they give this peep show 6 minutes, and it didn't even really do anything. It was just Christian and Chris Jericho like talking shit to each other, and then Orton comes on the screen saying that he's gonna hurt Jericho, and it was a really pointless. I'm glad I didn't have to. Glad that wasn't on the main show. It would have been really saddened if that was on the main show. But anyway.
Yeah, well, I didn't hear anything great about it, so I just didn't bother watching it. But the show probably.
It was
yeah.
It was 4 minutes, 4 or 5 minutes. It was never gonna. Didn't really serve a purpose. It didn't really I was hoping it would enhance my thought. Make me rethought. Want to see the match more, but it didn't really. But, oh.
Yeah, anyway, so the show properly, after that disappointment apparently, kicked off with a pretty good tag team match, where it was Gold and Stardust versus the Usos, with Gold and Stardust going over here, which was, I think, did we all predict that? I think we all did. And thank God, because the Usos' reign was just monotonous as all hell. They're just the Wyatts every pay-per-view or something. And, I don't know, the reaction to Gold and Stardust winning the match afterwards with the titles and celebrating really made it feel like something. I think they're going to do something with these guys in the tag titles. It just feels kind of right.
Well, you know what the Cosmic Key is now.
Yeah, well, it's the tag titles, which doesn't make sense because it's aren't they all about gold and stuff, and they're bronze? Maybe they'll make the titles gold again or something. I don't know.
They will not.
No, they won't. What did you guys think of this match?
There's a reason why they're bronze. They look like pennies, and that's what they think of the tag team division.
Yeah, exactly. It's a very specific hierarchy. Yeah, no, it was I thought it was good. Yeah, it wasn't super memorable, but it was just a good match. You know what I mean? That's the way I look at it. I watch it and go, yep, that was good. You know what I mean? I don't go, wow, that was incredible. But yeah, it was good. Yeah,
great spot where Stardust took his glove off and then slapped one of the Usos when they were stuck in the rope.
Yeah, definitely.
So I was expecting a duel on Monday Night Raw, but we didn't get that.
A glove duel or something.
Yeah.
Because he gets him in the Andre position, with the arms and the ropes, and then takes his glove off and slaps him. So a good bit of heel maneuvering there. They're supposed to be heels, so I mean, usually most heels just wrestle regular faces, I guess. But it was good to see him break the rules here.
It was good to see there was some good heat for this match as well, which it's good to see that the Golden Stardust are getting over as heels, which is good.
What do you feel about this tag team? What's your opinion on them as a team? Do you like them, or are you indifferent to them, or what?
Oh well, I've liked them since last year when they formed.
I'm talking
they're
specifically the Gold and Stardust gimmicks.
oh, well, uh, you need stuff like this in the WWE, and it's good that they've got it as a tag team because I can't see. Like, I can probably see Goldust because he's been around so long, but I cannot see the Stardust character lasting as a single
No, it doesn't
character.
work. No,
and
no.
and I get the feeling that this is only going to be a short term reign. What do you call it? Well, it'll be a good like a long title reign, it'll be like a 6 month title reign. But I don't reckon this team will be around for too long. I think the idea is just split them up. I think
Around
have them
WrestleMania
fight each
time
other.
for that WrestleMania
Probably,
match we've been waiting for
yeah,
4 years now
yeah,
or something.
probably.
Yeah. Like, what do you think of this team, Conley?
Um, yeah, look. The one big problem I've noticed is that unfortunately, if you look at the tag team titles,
Yeah,
this time last year, can you tell me who the champions were?
the Shield.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, so like what at this time? At this time, wasn't it?
It was the Shield this
It-
time. I mean, in a few
yeah, and
months
when was
it'll be
Battleground again? When was Battleground?
October, I think.
Yeah,
I think.
that's what I meant. So
Yeah,
like around this time, uh, you know, it's. Well, I'll have a look real quick. One sec. Okay, that's right. So they won it. Yeah. So in like 20 days, on October 14, 2010, they were the champions.
2013.
Yeah, 2013.
Yeah.
That's why I meant if we did this podcast another 14 days or 20 days later, I would have been out of work. But you know what I'm saying? Like basically a year ago, these guys were the champions. So it's kind of a bit like shit to me that like a whole year later and we've got the same champion. And it's very much the same with AJ Lee, which we'll talk about later.
Yeah.
Like a year later, she's the champion. And the only one that's became champion in that time is Paige. And then
Yeah.
with this, the only ones that have became champion in this time are the New Age Outlaws, who are, definition of like part-time, team. And then the
Transitional champs.
Usos.
Yeah,
You
no,
know?
it's funny actually. I mean, they're a slightly different team, but yeah, it's kind of like.
Yes, they are different. You're right.
I mean,
yeah.
it's the Stardust gimmick itself. I kind of just think is just a blatant. Obviously it's a ripoff of Goldust, but it's like all his mannerisms. Like he doesn't really add anything to the gimmick. He just kind of
No.
rips off Goldust. But I'm looking forward to seeing where this goes. I think it's gonna go somewhere. And like I said, glad to see them win the titles here. Match 2, obviously for the United States Championship, a match that had no real build up at all, but really delivered, I thought, as a match for the title. I think it's probably one of the best United States Championship matches I've seen in quite some time.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
you got two of the best workers in the match.
yeah,
It's like
Cesaro versus Sheamus.
Cesaro's a great worker, and Sheamus knows how to put on a good match. He's a main event caliber.
Boring wrestler, yeah.
I don't think
Well-
he's a boring wrestler. I think he's a good
He's-
wrestler. He can pull it out
he's
when he
not.
needs to.
Yeah, he's all right. You know what I mean? He's just a bit.
he's-
He's just, main event wrestlers in general are a bit. I reckon.
Well, he's good as a he has a good comeback, which is good for a main event. If they can get a good comeback that gets over, that means they're a good main event style wrestler, and he has those
True.
good moves. I like that rolling senton.
That's a good move, actually.
I like the what is it, the shoulder charge off the ropes, even though he didn't do that.
He
on the
doesn't
show.
watch a lot of stuff either. Like he's a very
He's
slick
very
wrestler.
he's very very clean.
Yeah, he's like, if you
Doesn't
watch a
lock
lot
up
of
a lot.
Sheamus matches, he doesn't make many mistakes at all, and it's really good to see. And this match was no exception. It was a real stiff kind of match. Like,
Brutal.
it looked the best thing about this match was that it wasn't some kind of like. I mean, not to say flippy shit isn't great because we all like flippy shit, but see, this is the alternative to flippy shit. This is like brute strength kind of guys going together, going at it, and putting on a great strong man type of performance. Because this match was, I think,
It's
really
not strong style.
no, not strong. I didn't say strong style. I said like it's more of like a blow for blow type of match. It's like two behemoth type.
True, yeah.
It's the
was-
best
yeah.
version of like the two lumbering oafs I think I've ever seen. One of the best versions of it. Like, two big guys usually fail abysmally when they're put together, but these two, I mean, they're fairly large, they're fairly big, but they managed to pull it out pretty well. And Sheamus retains here with the brogue kick out of nowhere. Now, that's a problem I have with Sheamus, actually, is where he always hits the brogue kick out of nowhere. Or he always hits the brogue kick, and then no one ever kicks out of it. I want to see someone kick out of that damn thing.
Yeah, that was a
No.
really bad ending to me.
Well, the match had to end.
It
They
did have
to
to
end.
end. It's true, but like no one ever kicks out of any Sheamus's finishes. Like the white noise, no one kicks out of it. The brogue kick, no one kicks out of it. It's like you can tell with a Sheamus match when it's going to end. That's my big problem with it. It's like that kind of endings are predictable.
Well, it's a mid-card match.
Yeah, I know, right?
You're not gonna have them kicking out. There's no near falls in a mid-card match.
That's true, but the ending is like
plenty of people are kicked out of the brogue kick. In his world title matches when he was the world champion.
So you're saying when it's mid card, no one needs to kick out the brogue kick. But
Well,
what if it's
they're not meant
Cesaro?
to-
Cesaro has fallen so far. He needs
but-
something.
Well, you do realize they took away the Cesaro signs during the night.
The king of wrestling.
They don't want Cesaro at all. They don't give a shit about him. Like they don't want him over. This was designed to be like, oh, yeah, done, you're done. Like, that was the whole point of it. He punched him, kept punching him, kept hitting him, which should have knocked Sheamus down, and then brogue kick out of nowhere. It really, I know this is professional wrestling, but it felt really fake to me. Like I was like, wow, this is like bullshit. You know what I mean? That was the only way I could really describe that. It was like, here they were putting out a pretty good match, and then yeah, there you go, done. Like, what is wrong with the producers? They're so tired.
I don't
same
understand.
old shit with him.
Like,
That's why people don't like Sheamus. People
true.
don't like him because no one's saying he's a bad worker, right? Like the guy can work. We all know that. But the problem is that the guy that's producing his matches or whatever, like it's so much the same. Like especially towards the end that people just can't get behind that. Especially considering Cesaro did like a very similar kind of big boot kick that should technically knock him out as well.
But he didn't beat his chest beforehand, you see.
Yeah, that's just really annoying to me. Like, yeah, I don't know. I wasn't happy with that.
I thought like if you watch Sheamus matches, like you can get a good feeling whether or not he's going to hit the brogue kick most of the time. Like it's like if someone's down and out and they've been out for a little while and he waits a bit, then does his little pose thing and then goes for it, he'll miss it. But if they're down and then he immediately goes for it, he'll always hit it pretty much all the time. And that's it looks like he's burying people. No matter how good the match is, anytime he hits the brogue kick and gets the win out of nowhere, it always feels like he's just burying someone.
Yeah.
That's my problem. Anyway, so what'd you give this? You gave this 4 stars, Slodgeball.
Yeah, 4 stars.
Well, I don't know if I'd give it that many.
I didn't really have a problem with the finish.
Yeah, well, I thought it was a good match. I thought it was good to see Cesaro pull out some moves that he doesn't really do very often, like the what was that, like some kind of tiger bomb or something. I think it was like the pedigree type thing into like a power bomb. That was pretty cool, and he did like the torture rack into a slam kind of move, which I thought was pretty good.
I just want to see him do the UFO, and then I'll be happy.
Yeah.
You know what the UFO is?
Some kind of shoulder thing, right?
He spins them around on his shoulder. You know what I mean? Like, it is just the most incredible thing I've ever seen. Like, it is just brilliant. Like, Cesaro, if you ever watch him in Ring of Honor and stuff and all that, PWG, he has so many good moves. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's just like Neville and Sami Zayn, who are constantly praised, on NXT. He arguably almost has a more diverse moveset than them. But that's the big problem when you make it to WWE. Get rid of anything that makes you actually interesting. Honestly, that's the truth. Like, if you watch any other promotion, and I know everyone says, the risk, there's more matches per year. But you know what? That's no excuse for a fucking, lame, stripped-down Cesaro moveset.
Yeah,
Cesaro
I know.
can be doing 20 times better than what he's doing. And yet they take away the swing, which is an over move. They take away a lot of his, pure strength stuff. He doesn't even do that lift over the top turnbuckle thing anymore.
He doesn't do much anymore.
Which is really,
Cesaro.
really...
Exactly.
I
kind of
he
they
doesn't
put
do
him with Heyman, and then he kind of didn't do much with that, and now he's chopping out.
They had to get rid of. They had to split him and Heyman up because.
But they didn't really split them up either.
because-
It's like, we're done. See you later.
Yeah, exactly. Pointless bullshit. Absolute garbage.
It
It'd be
did nothing
negative
but
tonight. Like
hurt.
that was just disgustingly
Yeah,
bad.
it did
I
nothing but
mean, that
hurt
was like
him.
Hornswoggle was the GM kind of shit. It made no sense for them to split up. You know what I mean? Like, oh, Brock Lesnar. You know what I mean? Like, oh, gee, great storyline. Do you know what I mean? All it was just making sure they could remind everyone that Brock conquered the streak every fucking week.
Also, they
You
gave
know what
him
I mean? Then they put him
hilariously
to a
bad music as well. Let's not forget that.
yeah. Oh yeah, that has to be a rib.
His
That
theme is the
siren
worst theme
crap.
of all time. Like it's
It
even
is. I mean, if you got rid of the sirens, it's okay, but like it's
the
still
right to censor
bad
theme
with
is
you know.
better. It is.
But yeah,
Anyway, so yeah, so a pretty good match. I'll probably give it maybe like I don't really do star ratings, but if I did, I'd maybe give it like a 3.5 star probably. The IC title match was next, and that was The Miz with Damien Mizdow versus Dolph Ziggler with R Ziggler, and The Miz goes over here, but obviously
flexing result.
yeah, perplexing is the right word to use here because obviously on the following Raw, uh, Ziggler regains the title, so Miz only holds it for like 24 hours, which I don't know what the deal with that was. But can we just talk
Just to
about
keep you going.
can we talk about Damien Mizdow here for a second? Because I'm really this guy that he's getting over in my
If
book.
if 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 there's any what is you know for the Slammies at the end of the year, um he should win a Slammy just for being this stunt double. He's just he's just one of the best performers in the WWE, and I I've been a big fan of you know Damien Sandow since he started.
Yeah, me too.
And no matter how far they bury this guy, he still gives so much. Like when he was coming out as different characters, like especially the Paul Revere one, like
Oh, that was
that
great. That
promo
was
he
great.
did.
The elbows coming.
That was yeah, it was so good. Yeah, Damien, and I like on Raw the next week where on the next night where he comes out with one of those toy intercontinental
Yeah,
titles.
yeah,
Oh,
like
that's
Miz wins the
fantastic.
title and he comes out with a replica title. That was
And,
fantastic.
and when the Miz was going for the figure four leg lock, he was like
Yeah, he
doing it
went
to the
down.
invisible curse.
And he puts the headlocks in as well. Like and did you see like when Miz won the match here and was celebrating with the title and selling like his head, Damien Sandow comes over and
Yeah.
sells like whatever the Miz is selling.
Yeah.
I don't understand the
Yeah.
point of the stunt double, but it's just so damn entertaining. And
It's just for entertainment
he's such a
purposes, and they're
better
doing a
Miz
good
than the
job.
Miz is. And it's such a good spot for him as well
It's not-
because not only does it keep him out of like jobbing every week, but it gives him something to do, rather than just appear as just generic, like not generic, but random characters every week. It's an ongoing thing that he can do, even though obviously the intellectual savior of the masses gimmick was tremendous, and I really wish they'd just go back to that because that was just so good, and I don't understand why they got rid of it. It's
because,
like why? Why did?
he probably pissed someone off out the back.
But who?
Chris, what happened? What are you saying?
Yeah,
I
like,
think he got into like trouble. I think behind the scenes, and that's what happens if you have a
Doesn't
bad
seem
run
like
with.
he did. It just seemed like they, I don't know, they just went, no, fuck you.
see, the
Well,
interesting
they
thing
really
about
did
his
bury
burial is that like he still got time on television every week.
Mm.
Like, it's
Someone like Ryder, like they buried him and then just took him off TV.
yeah,
Do you know what I mean? That's a real burial. Like Sandow's like it's kind of a different type of burial. It's like a burial, but they'll still know you. And in a way, it gives them a chance if people get behind him. And there was a point where people did get behind him, like when people outright booed Adam Rose.
Yeah,
Very
that's
shortly after his debut, when Sandow lost. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's true.
Adam Rose sucks though. He
Oh,
deserves it.
I like Adam Rose.
Yeah, I like him.
You
But-
bring up Adam Rose, but you don't bring up someone like Sami Zayn or Adrian Neville.
Sami Zayn's
is what makes
burning
it.
down there very hotly at the moment. I don't want to bring him up just yet. And he's going to win the title. That's going to be amazing when he does. But speaking of title, yeah, this title match, I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was like the best of their encounter
Well,
so far.
You wouldn't know this, Angus, but
Yeah.
Conley would know. But
I wouldn't know.
the odds are a really interesting thing, and sometimes the scripts get leaked out, and there's a 90-minute period in the odds called the smart money, and it's when all the odds deviate significantly, and you know the winners of the match. The Miz went from like plus 400, so an underdog, to minus 2,000,
Oh my
and now
god.
the maximum you can be is 4,500. So he was the biggest favorite on the show, besides Randy Orton, who was minus 2,500.
Oh my
So
god.
so you could clearly tell something got leaked out. I don't know what happened there, but like he went from like the underdog to like this huge favorite. So you could tell he knew you was going to win the match.
It was strange that he won, though. I mean, like, it was a good match, and
I think they're just trying to keep this feud going because they don't really have anything at the moment.
I don't have a huge problem with it either. Like, usually one-day title reigns are shit, but I thought this was, like, a good... Because when Ziggler lost it, I was genuinely kind of like, oh, that's a shame. And then he won it back, and it's like, that's a great thing, you know? It's playing with my emotions there.
Well, they work well together, and they're going to put on a good match, and I just don't think they have anyone. I think Sandow's going to turn on on the Miz, and they're going to have a feud, and with Sandow as a face,
Sandow needs to
as a
win the
baby
title.
face. I reckon that's the path that they're taking, but they're going to keep this feud going a bit long.
I have a strange idea, and this may or may not pan out, but Sandow turns face against The Miz, wins the title. The next night on Raw, Wade Barrett comes back and squashes him and wins it back. I could see them doing that kind of thing, especially like if they put Sandow over and give him the title, and I can see him just immediately dropping it to Bad News Barrett.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know.
Because weren't you saying like he should, Bad News Barrett, when he comes back, just squash and just win it?
Yeah, well, I think that's what they're going to try and do because this was meant to be the year of Wade Barrett. I'm pretty sure.
Was it? Was it really?
Well, his Intercontinental Championship was meant to be the start of something. This is probably the third time that they try to push him, and he's something's gone wrong.
Look, Slodgeball, I've got bad news for you, and I hope I don't see you next week, or maybe next week you won't be around or something. I don't know. I botched it, but it's just
that makes no sense. Speaking of
makes no sense.
botches and bad sayings, let's move on to this next match.
Well, match. Where's the match?
Yeah. Mark Henry.
Oh, that's the match.
Versus Rusev. Oh, what? No. Oh, they had we should talk about the Rollins segment.
Oh yeah, of course. The highlight of the show for me.
This was the return of. I wouldn't say it's the highlight. He didn't really get us over. That's what I thought, which is a bad thing.
They're in Nashville, Tennessee. It's a shit. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, well,
as a crowd, they're shit, and I thought he got a pretty good reaction.
I thought he did. I didn't understand how he managed to like arrive in the taxi just as the open challenge was announced. It kind of makes sense. Like, did he know there was an open challenge? Is that why Ambrose returned? It was a coincidence.
I liked when JBL said he didn't pay the cab fare.
Yeah, that's good. He didn't, but like,
yeah, I know.
So yeah, for those who don't know, Roman Reigns had his hernia thing happen.
What a terrible timing for him, but probably best timing for his own career. Like for the fans, I think they're gonna like.
Well, he's had problems with it before, and he has got a hernia in his torso.
Is that why he wore that camera?
And it got him due to just being on the road so much. It got inflamed, and it was up against his small intestine, so it had to be removed.
Yeah.
He's always had a small hernia, but they haven't really worried about it. So that's the reason for him. And the problem with this is he can't rehab for it hard because it's a serious injury where it can cause some long-term damage. So the bad thing about this is he could be out for 3 months. Which is
a good thing about this.
No, it's not a good thing because they need to keep pushing him. And
there's plenty of time when he comes back. Like, he can have like a hot thing with Rollins when he comes back or something, or maybe not. Maybe just someone else. Maybe why do they need to keep going to the Shield well over and over again?
Well, yeah, but it's just unfortunate. Like, well, I suppose that they're giving the number 2 babyface spot to Ambrose now for a while. See how he goes.
Yeah, it's crazy to think Ambrose is a babyface at this point because like when he came in, everyone was like, "This guy's the next Roddy Piper-esque heel. This guy's a fucking awesome heel.
Jake the Snake.
Jake the Snake heel." But now he's like a face, and he's so over as a face, and he's so good at a face. This guy
He
can
is,
literally
yeah.
play any role, I think.
Yep.
This is one of the few times where WWE don't like using characters that they had in their other promotions because they don't like to copy other people.
No, they
like
just
to
don't
bring
like to acknowledge anything but themselves. They're trapped in their own little world.
Well,
That's,
they're the biggest company in the world. Why would you want to plug your opposition?
well, then why would you want to actually promote anyone from a different organization then? Why would they hire Kenta? Wouldn't he not matter?
No, it's Hideo Itami. Thank you.
Sorry, Hideo.
Why would they hire Hideo Itami? Is
Yeah.
the question.
Like,
Well,
the thing is, to an extent, they do care, but they pretend they don't. You know what I mean? Pretending competition doesn't exist is not a good business practice at the end of the day, I don't think.
I think it
You
is.
might-
I think it's good. It looks desperate when you acknowledge your competition.
Yeah,
No,
you
it
don't
doesn't.
want to. But
It does.
Look,
Seriously.
You tell me Mac versus PC was pathetic. Samsung and Apple is pathetic.
No, but like it looks.
McDonald's and
This is-
Taco Bell is pathetic.
I think so. I think
this
it's like
is completely different.
it's
You're
it's
comparing.
taking food chains to television shows. It's like if Breaking Bad, for instance, took stabs at like Game of Thrones or something.
But
It's a bit different,
you're
though.
also comparing billion-dollar companies against a billion-dollar company. WWE is the only billion-dollar wrestling company in the world. Like nothing stands close to it. So
That's
why would
true.
they? Like that's the problem. Like the only company that's come ever close was WCW, and then they did acknowledge that, and
Yeah,
they did
yeah.
beat them. So
But see, when it's a threat to them, they'll acknowledge it. But when it's like below them, there's not gonna be any reason to. Because first of all, no one's gonna know exactly what they're talking about. So it's like, what's TNA? You know, sort of
I'm
thing.
not saying that to say it. I'm saying that like them like, trying to pretend it doesn't exist. Like to me, for example, with Sting, if they just say, "Oh yeah, Sting was gone for 14 years," they don't even like allude to the fact that he was still wrestling. That's just gonna be that's just fuck off. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
but what
Like,
else are they gonna say? Oh yeah, you were in the minor leagues for like, you know.
well, you just kind of say you'd still been wrestling, you'd avoided WWE. Like, there's got to be a way to kind of imply that like
No,
it's a deal for him to get to where he
WWE
got.
has a very strict like continuity going on with like
Like,
stuff.
continuity doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, well, Total Divas doesn't make sense, but I mean that's beside the point.
Neither does WWE's continuity.
But no, but like their continuity in terms of titles and matches and stuff is within their little universe. They don't acknowledge stuff that takes place outside of it. Except actually, they kind of do sometimes with like they say these guys wrestled on the Independents. They won't name the Independents, but they'll say they did. So
Oh, they do on the website these days.
mostly
Like on the
ROH.
websites, they're really doing a big job with that. Like with Kenta and that. I mean, sorry, Hideo Itami. They've really like. Actually, fuck it. His name's Kenta.
His name is
That's his
Hideo
real name. That's his
Itami.
real name. His real name's Kenta. I'm referring to him as if I know him as a
What a
friend.
smart.
No, actually, that's another thing. Anyone that goes off and gets angry at people for calling Kenta, like Hideo Itami Kenta, is a fucking idiot. He's been Hideo Itami for like 2 weeks. Let people get used to, switching his name. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's been known as Kenta for 14 years, Don't attack
Only
people.
14 years? When he was a kid, no one called him Kenta.
Just whatever. I'm getting bothered.
Anyway, so Ambrose returns and they try to fight him off attacking Seth Rollins, and then Joey Mercury tackles him to the ground.
no, Jamie Noble.
Well, Joey Mercury was there too, so shut up.
Yeah, but Joey Mercury's fat. He can't do anything.
I like Joey Mercury. Shut up. He broke his face. He deserves a job for life there, even though his face looks fine now. But still,
You do realize he got fired from the wellness policy, and he only came back because CM Punk wanted him.
yeah, I know, but still, it's Joey Mercury. Good tag team with Nitro. I like them. I was a mark for Eminem.
WCW Nitro.
Ha ha ha. Anyway, next snooze fest of the evening came with Rusev and Mark Henry, and who can bore me to literal tears the first, or who can be bored to literal tears, because Mark Henry did actually cry in this match. I don't know.
Oh god.
Did either of you catch that actually? 'Cause,
Yeah.
So Mark Henry comes out, and then they play America.
As soon as he started crying, I'm like, this guy's turning heel.
And he didn't turn heel. So they
No,
play.
he did. He has turned heel.
Has he? Mark Henry's turned heel.
Yeah, on main event he turned heel. He told the fans, to kiss his ass.
Oh, I didn't watch. Oh my god, what a spoil. Anyway, so he comes out and they sing the American national anthem, which totally baffled me. I'm like, Why now? And is it just for this match? And then the answers to both those things were, I don't know why.
It's to
And
get
yes.
Rusev over. It's to get Rusev heaps of heat.
It is, but Mark Henry's shit in the ring. He's fine on the mic, but he can't do it much in the ring these days.
That's yeah, I know. But
And this match sucked, and it was shit. The only good thing about it was when Henry was putting the accolade at the end, and a single tear ran down his face. Did you catch that?
Mhm.
yeah.
That was great. I like
I
that.
don't, but what I don't understand is, and I'm talking about Raw now, but he taps out on the pay-per-view, but passes out on Raw.
Yeah,
Wouldn't you have it the other way around? Wouldn't you have him pass out on Raw so he gains a bit more credibility and then taps out?
Yeah, good
And
idea.
then that's the reason why he turns heel. It seems like they oh, mind you, they were rewriting the show as we speak, as we were watching the show on Raw. So I think there might have been a late minute change, or haven't passed out. Maybe he was meant to turn heel on Raw, and they decided, oh, we'll put it on main event or
he
something like
probably
that.
should have turned heel on Raw,
Maybe
'cause I
they.
didn't even know he was heel right now.
Well, I reckon that was the plan, and they've obviously they changed stuff around. Maybe they had time to fill, and they wanted to. But anyway, this was the worst match on the show by far. I gave
Oh,
it
it
one
was
star.
it was I don't know, it's just slow and
One star.
chin lock and chin lock.
I didn't expect much from this match, and poor Rusev, like he was trying to carry a 400. It's hard to carry a 400-pound man through the ring. I think Rusev did all he could. I'm not blaming Rusev for the match. I'm not really blaming anyone either. Or it was always going to be a slow match, and
Yeah.
it's just one star.
Unfortunately, it was so slow that I didn't give a shit.
I'm not going to criticize it because I didn't expect much, but you know,
Yeah, I mean,
Rusev won with the accolade.
the problem is that like the only thing going for it was the whole Americanisms thing, and we just don't care about it, do we, guys?
No, we don't.
We just don't care about the
Yep.
Americanism thing. So why would we care about Mark Henry winning this match? In actual fact, we should be rooting for Rusev if we're supposed to hate America. But why are we supposed to hate America? I don't know. Why are we supposed to hate Russia? I don't know. Because Russia's mean to America, and therefore we're supposed to hate Russia. In this a storyline, I'm talking, not real politics right now.
But like 80% of their market's American, so you know.
But I'm not American, so
That's well, you just have to live with it.
and the
It's
problem
just-
with Mark Henry as well is he can't just adopt this kind of like this character. He can't adopt the character of a patriot. He has to either be a patriot or just no. There's no point doing
well,
the patriot gimmick.
he sort of is because he did represent the country in the Olympics.
But when do they only bring that up now when it's convenient for them to? See, it's like he's just this the world's strongest man, the world's strongest man, the world's strongest real American sort of thing. Anyway, so next match was actually a fairly good match.
Lana's pretty hot in the match, so
She was
that's why I
good.
gave
Lana's
it,
always good.
That's
She gets
that's why I gave it one star.
just for her, and they did cut
Yeah.
to her quite a lot actually on the outside.
Yeah, that's good.
Next match was the match of the night, which was Randy Orton going over Chris Jericho. And you know, it was a good match. It was match of the night, but I don't think it was anything tremendously amazing. But I still thought it was really, really good.
Talk about calling spots. That RKO sure was a surprise.
Oh,
To
I
win
didn't
the
think
match.
Jericho. Okay, if he didn't hit the RKO,
Could he make it more obvious? Like,
well, what was Jericho going to do if he didn't get caught in the RKO? What was his
Well-
motivation?
well-
Like he was going to attack him with his chin or something?
well, one. When does Jericho ever go to the top rope?
Well, frequently enough, you know.
Not really.
He does. He does his crossbody from the top rope occasionally.
Really.
Oh, you know, he might do a arm.
He does his line, so
Yeah, that's more from the middle rope, but yeah, like, you know, it was a good match. It was a fine match. It just, no, I don't know. I just didn't. There was no emotional connection to it because it's like Jericho ending another dismal run of doing nothing. No real story behind the match except for a few segments on Raw, and he didn't even get put out in a way that would cause him to be out for months.
Was he on Raw?
No, he wasn't. He hasn't.
That's it. He's done.
For now, he'll probably come back around Rumble time or something. But like,
Gee, that was nothing.
it was just, and the match was good, but it just I didn't feel any kind of thing from it, and it went for they gave it a lot of time, and you know Jericho was doing a lot of his spots, you know, and it worked well. It was fluid enough, not too many botches and that kind of thing. But for the life of me, if I tried to we're doing this podcast a few days after the show, but I can still remember most of the stuff from most of the matches. But this one's just a blur for me. I just can't remember anything that happened in it except for that horrible ending where Jericho goes for the something from the top rope and gets caught in an RKO, except the timing's way off and Jericho like lands on the ground almost before or as he's getting caught in the RKO anyway. So yeah, it looked like a crappy RKO actually. It was very crappy and it was very telegraphed. But this match was good. Don't let me undersell it because I thought it was good. I thought it was match of the night, easily match of the night. But I know I thought it at the time, but I just if I recalled it to you now, I would have to it's really stretched to remember what happened in it. And that's a bit of a problem,
No boring chance though, which is a good thing for an Orton match.
Oh yes, well he used the chin lock a few times, but apart from that, he really has a problem with people's chins. His finisher gets them in the chin. Maybe that's why the RKO is so good because he puts people in like headlocks and chin locks and wears down their neck. So when he hits the RKO, it's more effective. Do you think?
You know what RKO stands for, don't you?
Randall Keith Orton.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I know that. Even my brother knows that. Like Liam's like, oh, it's his initials. Yeah,
but a lot of people regard it as called Randy's knockout.
I don't think it kind of is, but he doesn't really. Some people kick out of it, so I don't think it knocks everyone out.
Yeah, but 4.25 stars.
4.25. Holy shit! It wasn't that good.
Match of the night.
It wasn't that good. It was not that good.
Yes, it was.
It wasn't that good. No, it was okay. It was mediocre. It was 3.5 stars.
It was better than the US title match, and I gave that 4 stars.
Oh, I think I enjoyed the US title match a bit more because, like, in hindsight, I can like recall more of it. I thought this match was okay. It was what I expected it to be. And obviously Jericho out for no explicable reason. Explain to me the countdown, because sometimes he gets the countdown to his entrance and sometimes he doesn't. I don't understand. What's going on here? Where's the consistency?
We got the countdown because it's his last match.
He had the countdown at SummerSlam and he had the countdown somewhere else.
Probably at pay-per-views.
Maybe.
They're on budget cuts, so they probably don't want to spend as much money. But
that countdown's expensive.
Probably. Have you noticed he only gets pyro on pay-per-views?
Yeah, he gets it a couple times on Raw, but yeah. What was the next match? This is the Triple Threat Women's match.
Yep.
This was pretty good.
It was okay. I mean,
I liked it.
Title change I expected, but wrong person going over.
Yeah, AJ really shortened in the odds as well. She went from an underdog to the favorite. So
wow, that's just fascinating. Actually, the odds there.
Why did she go over here? I don't understand.
I really don't know. All I can think of is like, please, Punk, please come back.
Yeah, no. It's the complete opposite. They don't want Punk back. No, the reason
they'd take him back in a heartbeat.
Yeah, they would, but they don't want to play that. Punk's not coming back anyway.
Of course he's not. No.
But the reason why they did this probably, and I heard this from another source.
Who are your sources?
They took the title off AJ to make her less interesting, but then they realized if we put the Divas title on her, she has to work every TV show, every house show, all these shows, every pay-per-view, and that's less time she can spend with her husband, which is CM Punk.
Are you sure they'd actually put the only woman's title on just to spite a man?
I think so. It seems like that kind of thing.
I mean, it does seem like that kind of thing.
Well, what about how CM Punk was threatening to sue WWE because they're still selling his DVDs and that, and then
but the thing is,
they started selling them for $3.
It's technically a punishment, yes, but at the same, no, but it's she's just won the biggest title for the 3rd time. She's the longest, the biggest, the champion the most times.
No,
is that really a punishment?
Eve is tied for that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, look it up.
Okay, but she's the one. She's had the most days as champion.
Yeah, that's true.
Like she's the champion again. That's a pretty big deal, isn't it? You know what I mean?
But that's what I'm saying about Paige as well. It's what do these women have left to do in their careers? Where do they go from here? What is the point? It's so stagnant.
They do money. They entertain people and they make money.
Well, think about this. Now, Layla is 37 years old, right? If Paige sticks around that long, that'll be 17 years.
She won't stick around that long.
Yeah, no, she might, but let's think about
She
that.
will not.
No, she won't.
That's 17 years.
A
If
lot
she's
of a lot of
6'1".
a lot of female wrestlers leave before they're 30.
Yeah, but what
They
would
come in.
Paige
They
do? I
come
don't
in.
see her having any kind of outside appeal.
No, I can see her, but
Oh,
she has an appeal for her own.
apart from the porn circuit, maybe.
She's not going to porn.
Okay, well, what's she gonna do then?
I know, be an entertainer of some other kind.
What, an actress?
I know
She
I'm
does
right.
not have the chops to be an actress.
We don't know that.
I don't
They
think
train them. They train them to wrestle, not to act.
they train them to cover girls, not be cover girls.
God, you
Um,
really sound irrational with her these days. Actually, I
um,
used to think you were kind of like fair. Now you're just like full on, just actually, borderline insulting
I don't know.
this girl.
It's just. I'm still to be impressed by her, and it's been such a long, long time now that she's been around. It's like, do something that's gonna. She's so overhyped. I think it is Paige.
Well, anyway, let's talk about the match because that's the highlight. I reckon Nikki Bella has really, really improved in the ring,
Yeah, I
and
agree.
I
That's
reckon
true.
she really did do well in this match. Both the Bella twins have actually improved dramatically in the ring,
It's
which is a good
strange,
sign.
actually. Yeah.
Nikki's better, I reckon.
Yeah, I think so. I think Nikki is. It's funny. The one with the shitty worker is actually the better worker. Because
Oh, right, it's like John Cena and Brian.
yeah. Because I
Yeah,
think Nikki. I don't know. For some reason, she's the powerhouse somehow, even though she's supposed to be
Well, she's
exactly.
got bigger boobs. She got
No,
power.
she actually is bigger.
Yeah,
If
she is
you
bigger.
like
No, she is considerably bigger.
Brie Bella is a twig.
Well, she's slightly. I wouldn't say she's
No. You really, I don't know if like it sounds a bit perverted, but there is a very big difference in the kind of their curves and like their kind of abs. No, Nikki is actually bigger. Like it. There is definitely a difference, and
It's not
obviously,
a bad thing. She's
no,
just
no, of course not.
she's more filled out. Like
Definitely,
it looks like she does more weight training
yeah,
than Brie.
and also her diet as well.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
Bree's like some
Bree's,
kind of like freak about like health food or something.
yeah, the nature stuff.
She probably got that from Brian.
Is she gonna be the nature girl, Brie Bella?
Anyway, spot of the night came from the top turnbuckle.
Oh, that
where,
was not a spot of the night. Come on.
no. AJ, no. Paige literally says, "Oh shit, this is scary."
Wait, she said that?
Yeah, she said that, and then she was like, they had to like count it down because they obviously haven't done anything like that before.
Yeah, you could hear.
You ready?
Okay.
Yeah, and then you can hear Paige. You ready, girls?
Ready, go, yeah.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, go.
That's hilarious.
Yeah,
She's really bad on the like on the microphone. They really pick her voice up like
Yeah.
big time. She calls spots loud like Cena. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? Like
she's never been like comfortable on the microphone to me anyway. Like always sounds like
I think she sounds a little better than she did, and she's really good on guest commentary. I reckon.
she's
Hey.
she's improved. She
that's
was
such a
like that.
cliche thing to say.
All right, okay.
See, one time she stuffed up saying the word cliche, and I'm never gonna forget that. That just left a bad. How do you fuck up cliche? It's It's a simple word. How do you get cheesy and cliche mixed up? I ask you. How can you stuff that up? But
Okay, well, moving on.
Yeah.
The WWE World Heavyweight Championship match main event.
You don't want to talk about how bad the ending of this match was?
Brock Lesnar versus John Cena. Cena wins via disqualification, so all the smart money on Brock Lesnar to make him minus 1,700 went down the drain. I reckon that was a direct. I reckon that was Vince McMahon at the last minute calling this a DQ finish.
It was a bullshit finish as well. I mean, it just made no sense to me.
The only thing I can think of was they were running out of ideas, and they wanted to have the Lesnar and Cena match in Hell in a Cell inside the cell as
They
the
do.
blow
They
off.
want that. They clearly
And
want that.
no, they're not because Lesnar isn't booked for the show. Too much money. It's been confirmed. He's not at Hell in a Cell.
Yeah, that's a shame. But I mean, like I say, it's probably like such a B show anyway. Like he doesn't need to be.
Yeah, that's not have the most important title there. That's make it even less of a show.
No,
No,
but you can.
this is the problem. This is lazy booking. This is lazy booking.
Yeah.
Absolutely abysmal booking. It's absolute horseshit that they considered this a good idea. Because, if this was anyone else not defending their title, if this was Sheamus not defending his title, right, everyone would go, oh my God, Sheamus never defends his championship. This is bullshit. And then Lesnar doesn't defend it. For now we've been like 2 months, and everyone's like, "Oh yeah, he's a beast. He conquers all." Like with their everyone's pathetic,
No,
hard on for his strength, as
no,
if
because,
I had people going, "Hey, wouldn't it be a great idea if Brock Lesnar kicked out of the punt? Like, why don't you make Brock Lesnar the king of the fucking world?" You know what I mean? Honestly, seriously, people have this disgusting like for this guy that really pisses me off because he takes 5 finishes right in the show. You know what I mean? And he gets up after that and he's kind of just fine. You know what I mean?
And can we quickly talk about something that I called back in when we did the SummerSlam thing? I said in the first 30 seconds, Cena would hit the attitude adjustment, and he did, and Lesnar kicked out. And this match was slightly more competitive than their other one. Actually, Cena got tons of finishes in.
4.
that
4
was the
finishes. He got a lot of
4
finishes in.
4 attitude adjustments and
3
no,
STFs.
4. Yeah, 3 STFs, yeah.
Yeah, that's just
And one STF for a long time. No, but they didn't. This is how they should have booked Lesnar from the start. This huge beast. He's the strongest man in the world. It's the finish doesn't match what they're doing with Lesnar because Lesnar was obviously not going to be a Hell in a Cell. He's far too expensive.
Yeah.
And he's a part-time wrestler, so you're always going to have him not defend at every pay-per-view. And this seems like a pay-per-view where they would send him because it's called Hell in a Cell and it's not called, Night of Champions. You have to have the champion on there. I can
A
see
Hell in a Cell
this,
match. The
this
Hell in a
is, this,
Cell is the selling point. It's whatever.
this will be a good chance to get some of the younger talent to main event. I can see probably a number 1 contenders match. Probably have Seth Rollins, Dean Ambrose, John Cena, probably Randy
They've already
Orton
reported
in there.
what they've already reported. Meltzer's already reported the card.
Well, it's Meltzer, so I mean it can change.
Just to clarify, Meltzer is actually very, very, very accurate most of the time.
Yeah, but
I know
5 weeks
people
out of
people
the
like to
show.
shit on him, but the thing is, he's actually the only one really that has actual proper sources. Yeah, I mean, he's the one that is. I mean, people like to take the piss out of him for that CM Punk one where he said it was confirmed.
Yeah.
He said his source confirmed it. He didn't say he confirmed it. He said he wasn't no, but he said that the source that contacted him, which was within WWE, said that he was 100% confirmed. So, when Meltzer says something, you might as well at least not just dismiss it immediately. Do you have any idea what they're proposing?
I did read it. It's like Cena versus Ambrose, and the winner faces Rollins, and the loser faces Orton or something.
Yeah.
That makes no sense to me. Why is
It makes no
Orton...
sense, but I mean,
The loser faces Orton? Why would the loser face Orton? What reason would they have to face Orton? But no one wants Orton. Orton's just kind of there. But this
True.
match was it was okay. It was fine. Standard match. Very, very standard. Nothing spectacular happened in it until the end when it looked like it was basically Cena was going to win, supposedly. Okay, he hits the attitude adjustment, and then they're like, was Brock Lesnar going to tap out? We'll never know. But it was a pinning situation, not a submission situation. And the next night on Raw, they actually redubbed the commentary, so it was Brock Lesnar going to lose to Cena? I don't know if you noticed.
what did they change it? What did they change?
Well, originally they on the show they called it, is Brock Lesnar going to tap out to Cena? Even though Cena was covering him in a pinning situation?
That's because
Right.
That's because they fucked up. I had to change that.
I think
But,
did Rollins miss his cue or something?
on the
Was he supposed to come out while he was in the STF?
I think it could just been a mistake. Yeah.
Yeah. And anyways,
no, he was meant to come out after the attitude adjustment because that was Cena's time to go for the cover.
that's true. Yeah. So Cena wins by DQ after Rollins hits him in the back with the thingy, the briefcase, and then he looks like he's gonna cash in, and then he doesn't because Cena gets him first for some reason. Explain to me this. Why?
That was just
If
what a heel.
Yeah.
Now, if Cena can't get beat Brock Lesnar and he's having such a problem with him and he's beaten Rollins before, then why wouldn't you let him cash in on Lesnar, become champion, and then you have a lesser thing to worry about?
No, because he's pissed off that Rollins cost him his chance to win the title. So why should he win the title now? Fuck you. He wants to win the title. That's
What
the
a
whole
heel
point of it.
move, though. Still, like,
It is actually a bit of a heel move.
That's not a heel move. The heel move was Rollins.
yeah, but he just countered the move by being a heel.
But it's
and
the
also,
briefcase, so he does have kind of a reason. And
Yeah, he
it's
does,
the
yeah.
same reason Cena has to even be there. It's just for the championship. Cena will probably do the same thing. Although, let me get this straight for a second. So Seth Rollins can cash in at any time he wants to, and he thinks cashing in against Brock Lesnar is the best time to do it mid-match.
well, because he had taken 4 AAs and he'd also taken 3 finishes. Like, realistically, if he once he hit the curb stomp, which isn't a finisher, he would have pinned Lesnar. Lesnar would have definitely been down for the 3. At least I hope he would have been.
But it's Lesnar, and why would he pick, like, first of, and then he's gonna have to, like,
because it's a big bold move. It's like a big, like,
I suppose,
oh my
and they
God.
didn't explain it on Raw either why he did it.
Yeah, well, that's the weird thing, isn't it? Because you'd think that in storyline, this would be the end of the partnership between the Authority and Lesnar and that. Because think about it. Remember, Lesnar is essentially the Authority's champion. That's what they wanted, right?
Sort of.
And no, he is. They flat out came out with him, celebrated the title win. They wanted him to win the title. Plan C.
He's Plan C.
Yeah, and Rollins is Plan B, and Plan C is actually more successful than Plan B.
And so, if you think about it, what happened there was Plan B. Someone within their ranks just attacked someone who was the champion, Plan C. So now, like Heyman and that, they're not going to trust. Well, the In and I, if the storyline made sense, hopefully that's what they're going to happen. Basically, like, Lesnar and that are going to have to go rogue. Do you know what I mean? And so my hope is that, like, maybe the Authority now try and get the title off Lesnar, right? He's like too big of an evil, and so maybe they even try and get like Orton versus someone different against Lesnar. That's what I hope to see. I don't want to see Orton Lesnar.
I know for a fact that Batista's returning.
And is he going to take
Eventually,
Lesnar?
yeah.
No, well, he's the best bet because he's big and strong.
Yeah, actually, I would like to see that. I think that's a match that needs to happen.
And I know. I really hope they don't put Dean Ambrose against Brock Lesnar because that could ruin someone's career. And I know that it would be a good match and it seems fitting on paper, but that's a match that can really kill someone's career.
Yeah, like it's like, well,
he's trying to establish himself as one of the top guys in the company, and Lesnar's going to squash everyone until he faces Reigns. That's the only logical thing, and that you have Reigns as that new big powerhouse.
Yeah, well, that's going to happen, and if you like it or not, that's the way things are going.
I think
I might just stop at that point. Like, I might actually just. Yeah.
I think that's why Batista will be a better challenger because it doesn't really matter if you squash him because it's Batista.
I'd rather not see squash matches. Thank you very much. You know what I mean?
I think it's proven by Lesnar winning this match or retaining the title here that they're gonna have him keep it for quite some time.
Oh wow, yeah.
Like, I think this match just solidified, like, him winning it in the first place, and then this match kind of solidifies the fact that he's going to be carrying it through to Mania.
That's also another reason why they'll probably have Big Show against Brock Lesnar.
I think they will.
It doesn't matter if you squash Big Show.
I think Survivor Series is going to be.
It seems like a big feat, but at the same time, it's Big Show, so you're not really losing a star.
Yes, exactly. I mark this in your diaries. Big Show versus Lesnar at Survivor Series. It's happening, whether you like it or not. It's going.
And then probably Lesnar versus Batista at the Rumble.
Yeah, that's a very possible option there. And then, like, Roman Reigns obviously winning the Rumble, and then goes on to beat him at WrestleMania.
Well, yeah, I still think there's only 2 people winning the Royal Rumble.
Bryan and him?
No, not Bryan.
Wade Barrett.
No. Ambrose Reigns.
Oh, hey, this could be an interesting situation to
Because this is going to be the fight for the number 2. They're gonna. Reigns is still number 2 at the moment, but if Reigns comes back and he's not over, and he's not as good as what he used to be, and Ambrose keeps getting over, they will change to Ambrose because they want people that can draw. That's why Cena's been the face of the company for so long. He can draw. He can draw. He can draw. Like
Oh,
that's why
that's a bit of a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you make someone the king of every show, give him every merchandise possible, I think to an extent they have to draw. You know what I mean? They never really gave the ball to CM Punk. That's the thing. Like if they actually gave
yes,
him
they did. They did. They had him
giving him the
close.
title was not the
They,
ball.
they had him close out it. They had him pretty much own a show after TLC, and it was the worst.
Yeah, no,
It was the worst rating show.
that's absolutely a terrible, terrible excuse.
well,
Because
TLC was built around him.
yeah, that's true. But that whole Ryder, Bryan, and Punk main event that you're talking about, that was a very low rating. That honestly, that has nothing to do with the fact that he was like a failure or anything
It's
like
because
that.
Kevin Nash was on that show, wasn't it? And that's why it drew
Yeah,
terribly.
just because Kevin Nash. Yeah, no. That's a real. It's very hard to kind of analyze ratings like that, and if that's the only time he ever closed out, basically, and then they're going to blame that on him.
I have a list
Cena
of all
has
the
had
times
some
he closed
awful
out.
closing. The main event this week had one of the lowest rating all year.
What about Cena versus Laurinaitis at Over the Edge? Terrible.
Over the limit.
Over the
that's
limit.
That's because of the stipulation. But no, the third hour went up.
Yeah, but it was still the lowest rating all year.
Oh yeah, Randy Orton versus Cena again on Raw this week.
No,
oh god, I didn't even watch that.
That still went up. That quarter went up.
Did it really? Why? Why would anyone care about that?
Because it's John Cena. Like everyone wants to watch John. That's just John Cena versus Randy Orton. They're the two biggest drawing people. If you look at any house show that has John Cena and Randy Orton on it, they're the biggest selling house shows.
I don't understand why, but at the same time, it's working for them. So
It's a prophecy. It's a self-fulfilling.
This is a direct quote from Dave Meltzer on post Royal Rumble. They were talking about why isn't Brian, the face of the company, why are they burying him? And it's because his quarters weren't as strong as what they thought.
But the thing with Cena has been there for 10 years. I mean, no one's going to get to his level without actually letting them actually keep going until it works.
And even though Cena's in the quarters, why does he have to win all the time?
But Roman Reigns' quarters were strong before when he was still with the Shield, though.
Honestly, the quarter thing, the ratings is all bullshit, though. I mean, all of it is bullshit. It's like 10,000 people.
It's their best measuring stick. It's their best measuring stick.
Yeah,
true.
Money and quarter ratings are their best measure. It's the most accurate way to tell, and they prove time and time again to be accurate. Though that's the thing.
Do they?
I believe
this segment that goes up, like everyone's like, yeah, man, I really care about this segment. I doubt it.
See, the thing is, when you're watching Raw, like in the appropriate time that it's on, right? They can actually. Raw is built in a very specific way. If you haven't noticed, every hour builds to an hourly main event, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they can measure the fact, like they can measure what the ratings are in that particular quarter that main event is on, because they've been building up to it for like the last hour. So if someone's tuning in, it's like, okay, later tonight they're gonna have this match. Okay, I'll come back in 2 hours and I'll see this kind of thing, or something. Or this is gonna happen. I'll just skip this Raw. That kind of thing. They're not as bullshit as you might think.
They're still total bullshit. But
I don't know. You still follow the ratings for most things, don't you?
I don't like it. No, I don't really agree with them at all. Like, I certain ratings make sense, but the quarterly ones are complete garbage. Like, I mean, you can't determine like exactly at what second everyone's switching over. Like, someone could switch over at the exact wrong time, and then boom, that's like 10,000 people already represented for, just because someone quickly turned at like 10:54 or something like that. You know what I mean? Like,
I think it's an aggregate for the entire quarter, not just the highest.
That's when I look at Impact ratings, and this is sort of similar, but I look at the quarters for Impact, and the only people that draw from Impact MVP, Bobby Roode. I'm thinking of the last episode. Chris Melendez dropped huge.
Who?
And then you go.
Sorry, I don't know. I have no clue about these
Yeah,
The
TNA.
well,
war,
then-
the war hero.
Oh,
Yeah.
him.
He dropped. Oh, who was it? Oh, I can't remember. But the Homicide match dropped. Samoa Joe and Homicide dropped.
Samoa Joe drops. Ah,
No, but that's because they came off an MVP segment,
oh, I see. Right.
and he's the two biggest drawing stars are three: MVP, Lashley, and Rude. And if you don't know the spoilers,
I know the spoilers.
Bound for Glory sparked. They've
What?
really just ruined Bound for Glory.
I know the
because-
results for the matches already, essentially, without them
Well,
even taking place yet.
But at Bound for Glory, they're not going to have any title matches. You do realize that they're
Are
going to
they
have
really?
it. They're going to have it probably as a Japan show where they just have singles matches like the G1.
Yeah.
I think they're going to try and structure it like the G1. Just have just big matches.
It's funny, they really can't defend the title because it's already
They
been
can't.
it's already been won on Impact that happens in a month's time.
Well, the X titles changed. Well, Samoa Joe had to relinquish it.
Yeah.
Oh,
The
shit.
knockouts titles changed twice. The
Thanks for the spoiler.
World Championships. No, well, I'm not saying who's won. But, the World Championships changed.
Yeah,
and the tag
No,
titles changed.
but you have, because saying that it's changed twice. Here's what will happen, right? Havoc will win it, and then what's her name? The blonde girl will win it back or something like that.
Tiffany.
The first
Yeah,
time.
yeah, that's
Tiffany.
what happened.
They-
That's because
Wow,
that's
okay,
because
you didn't
that's because
know that.
they put it on Havoc, but she wasn't drawing, and but no,
Wait, what do you mean on
I
draw?
think no,
It hasn't been on television yet. How are we supposed to tell if it draws or not?
no, they put it on her, but they weren't comfortable with her having the title, so they put it on Terrence Brown. I think the idea was to have it take it off Gail Kim, and so Terrence Burrell can win it in a triple threat.
Right, yeah. But yeah, okay. So-
Because I think the only reason why they took it off Gail Kim is because her contract's expiring.
So Night of Champions, a pretty damn good show. Not really.
Honestly, I care more about TNA and all that.
Hell in a Cell. I hope. It's funny how these things just devolve into just bullshit talking because it's like.
Yeah, because that's because it hasn't been able to sustain my interest. I
Yeah,
don't
that's
actually care about Night of Champions. Do you know what I mean? Like, as another plug for not SlideSpin, but for NXT. We watched NXT, or Slodgeball hasn't watched it yet, but watch that, and that's just like a solid show from top to bottom. Obviously, it is only an hour, but like it is, like something like Takeover, right? That's the real kind of like blueprint how to book a good show. I
He
reckon.
praise on Fatal 4-Way takeover, but this is just mediocre. If it was terrible, I'd have a lot to give out about. But it's not that terrible. It's just not that.
Yeah,
good.
like in theory, some of the matches are pretty good. You know what I mean? Like definitely, Sheamus was good, and
Yeah.
Orton was good. Tag match was good. The matches were good. It's just that it was kind of, I don't know, it was just a bit.
They didn't accomplish anything. They didn't forward anything. Nothing really shocking or.
And then on Raw, it's very
Well,
much the
also,
same.
yeah, Raw was terrible, but on another note, but with the thing with NXT and WWE, with the WWE, they're trying to make money, so they're trying to get all their plugs in and promote stuff. With NXT, because they don't really make, it's a developmental territory,
True.
so they're not making any money. So the only thing they
That's true,
have
but there's
is
at the same-
try and book the best show they can. Plus, with all the talent that they've got there, they're all probably working 3 times as hard as what half the people on the main roster do anyway.
Yeah, that's
So-
very true.
So
But
it's if NXT was a worse show than any of the WWE TV shows, they needed the accent. But obviously that wasn't going to be the case because NXT was always going to be a good show because of all the young guys trying to make their name to get up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the thing with, but it still proves that some people know how to tell a story in television. I'm not gonna say like oh, WWE, Raw. They have to put in so much time, plugging stuff that they can't focus on good matches because most of the time it's
Yeah,
taken up.
that's not an excuse. It's still a product at the end of the day.
They
If
they
you know,
they did have a good match on Raw. I reckon the Intercontinental match on Raw was
I
pretty.
yeah, spot
The
on.
IC title picture's interesting. Like, I mean, I'm actually kind of liking that at the moment.
Well, that's why they like to hotshot the titles because it does intrigue people. That's
I'm
why
intrigued a bit, but I mean, like
um
most of the other stuff, I don't care about. Like, I'm kind of the Dean Ambrose thing is interesting to see. I'm a kind of Dean Ambrose fan, but they're kind of mixing it with Cena, and it's kind of tarnishing it a bit. So I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure what. There's nothing really on at the moment that I'm that interested in,
Yeah,
and that's
for
the
me,
funny
it's like
thing.
Mizdow. That's about it.
Yeah, Mizdow is the highlight of Raw for me.
Mizdow and unfortunately they've managed to kill all the goddamn heat that Slater Gator
Oh
have,
yeah,
having them
Slater Gator.
repeatedly job out to the fucking bunny.
Mizdow and Slater Gator, they're my favorites at the moment. They're the only
oh,
things I really care about.
there's a lot of people reckon Sami Zayn's the bunny.
It's Justin Gabriel, isn't it?
I'm pretty sure it's one of them because
Yeah,
they
they both have the
spotted them
same.
at a taping. You know what I mean? Like,
I
and
think I think they've alternated. I
of
think
course,
That
yeah,
would be the
definitely.
worst way to bring Sami Zayn in, by the way.
I don't think Sami Zayn worked that match, but I'm pretty sure Sami Zayn's been in the bunny suit. I'm pretty sure Gabriel was in that because Gabriel,
Did the
the way
kick?
it was, the way and the way he was on the top turnbuckle. You know how he has that crouch. He crouches
Hmm.
on the top turnbuckle. That's
Yeah,
exactly what Gabriel does. So
yeah, and also Gabriel was at the tapings for Superstars for the past 4 weeks. He's been on the show. Remember
yeah,
that?
no,
Yeah.
but
So,
Sami Zayn was on the SmackDown tapings.
yeah, true.
He had
So
a they had a dark match.
they've alternated over quite a few times. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, yeah.
or a couple times. So yeah, but I do kind of like it, but at the same time, like I just hate it how they're kind of. I don't like it how Slater Gator is still like they're trying to be healed, but people just want to cheer them. You know what I
Well,
mean?
they've put Titus on NXT.
That was interesting. Yeah.
He's a different
I reckon
character on
that's
NXT.
that's good because he's actually a good promo.
He's a good promo. I'm a huge Titus O'Neil fan.
NXT, yeah, it's time for Titus take over.
Except he's
Yeah,
like
definitely.
38 years old or something. So
37. Yeah.
37. He's so old. It's crazy. It's like
Yeah, no,
DDP
but
levels of age.
but the thing with him is because he hasn't been in the business that long, he's still fresh. You know what I
He
mean?
does look like $1 million though. Like
He
Titus
does.
He,
He's a
O'Neil.
beast.
he's got the look to be a
Guys,
top
think
star,
about this. He's a
and
superstar.
and
I mean, Zack Ryder was his pro. I mean, like, he's a bona fide champion from that alone.
Yeah,
Former
Zack
US
Ryder
champ.
taught him everything he knows, but not
He,
everything Zack Ryder knows.
and Hornswoggle was his pro for a while as well.
Oh, what really? Hornswoggle?
Yeah,
Was that on NXT Redemption by any
Mhm.
chance? Oh
yeah.
God. He only debuted in 2009 as well, so it's only been around for 5 years.
That's what I mean. That's why he's
Oh
still
09?
fresh.
Oh nine, he debuted in '09.
Yeah, because he was a football player.
Debuted where in '09?
In wrestling in general.
Yeah,
Oh, right. Okay, so
he was
FCW.
in FC.
Yeah.
He was in FCW in 2010. Yeah, 2010. Because they brought him up really early in NXT and they realized that he was too green. So
Yeah.
they put him back in developmental. They put him back in FCW, and then that's why he came back for the redemption.
Yeah, no, I'm a bit of a Titus O'Neil fan, but do we have anything else to add relevant to Night of Champions?
Better than average.
Better than ever. Wait, predictions for SummerSlam? For SummerSlam, for the Hell in a Cell matches?
Nothing. Nothing at all.
You don't think
Hell-
anything is going to happen?
I
What
think
do you
they're
mean?
actually just going to put on
What do you
a
mean?
repeat of last year's pay-per-view.
Yeah, just put a repeat of Raw on.
They
Yeah.
should just do that.
What, replay Raw instead of... Yeah, no one would notice the difference. I mean, the same set and everything.
Yeah, Randy Orton versus Daniel Bryan. No one will notice a difference.
Yeah, well, maybe put on Mick Foley versus Undertaker just and on loop. Just
2014. I can see Mick Foley literally breaking in half if he took that.
the funny thing is that would probably draw like heaps if you put like that match on or something.
No, but it won't though, because the crowd's already seen it. The crowd can just watch that on their TV. If a live crowd would probably riot if they saw something like that.
Or they just freak out like, oh my god, this is better than anything I've ever seen today.
By the way, the show's ended. I don't want to talk about this.
You don't want to talk about this? Well, thanks for listening, everyone, to Night of Champions Bullshit Fest. Thanks, and goodbye. And we'll see you at the Hell in a Cell preview and predictions show. Oh my god, I'm falling asleep here. Anyway, goodbye.